That's actually a very good point for me to kind of ask. What actually motivated you? What drove you to set up a publishing house that's focused exclusively on Asia?
Well, everybody in Italy tells me you are so brave in starting a publishing house. I started a publishing house in 2008. Publication started in 2009. Publishing houses in Italy and in Europe are really affording the big difficulties. The situation is not good. What did move? Well, I should say by coincidence. And coincidence is not a bad thing. I mean, I was in India because of as you told the audience, I have a microfinance company working with microcredit. I was making a research about a microcredit project, and I realized that there were in Bombay, in India, voices that Europe, USA has never known about. And they were clearly good writers. And so I went back to Italy. I make the proposal to some people who joined me in this venture. And I think I was right, because I don't think the international publishing industry is still able to interact with all literary scenes in Asia. There are some names who grow up and you know about them. There are others who are completely left away, and it's good to be here, to spend time here, to understand, to deeply understand what are the most important voices here under an Asian point of view. I want to give my readers an Asian point of view.
I had a thought at the tip of my head, but as I was speaking to some of my friends earlier, I was in the office until like 2:30 last night. I think that was until 3:30. So kind of these kind of blackouts are happening. I had a question kind of following on from that, and maybe if I speak this slowly, it will occur to me again what it was. Oh yes. No, I just wanted to put on the record actually that the publishing house that Andrea has set up and is now successfully running is called Metropoli Asia. So even the fact that it's an Asian centric publishing house that's embedded in the name itself, and to my eternal regret, Andrea doesn't publish poetry.
So write a novel.
So write the novel.
Yeah.
I'm a narrative non-fiction writer, because all my 4 books are basically narrative non-fiction. One of them has some short stories in, but basically narrative non-fiction. I think that narrative non-fiction is very interesting. I don't think that the novel itself is the future for literature in the world. I'm not sure of. I think there is some change which is going on.
That's quite a bold comment. I'm going to press you on that. Why do you say that?
Sorry?
Why do you say that? That's quite a bold comment.
I have a sensation that in this world where so many things have been told, and we are told so many different things. We have so many images coming to us. It's now difficult just to tell a story as a novel. For instance, to write a novel as an omniscient voice. I think I am more interested in a book when I understand that the author, the writer, is in the book and I recognize him. Well, I should mention, if you maybe know the last book from Carrère, who is a French writer, who has written a book about Limonov, who is a Russian writer. And in the book, he tells the true story of Limonov, which is a fascinating story. And he explained why he has a wish to tell the story about Limonov. And, well, I think this is the right direction. You know, I know every writer, when he's writing a novel, takes his material from his real life, people who met persons, situations, memories. So why to hide them behind the novel form? And the novel was, in this form, was invented in Europe 200 years ago. And more than that, you can say that, let's say, plots have been invented 2000 years ago. I mean, from the Greek tragedy, and then by Shakespeare, stories have been told. And I think every novelist, more or less, at the end of the story, goes in one of these plots. It's difficult to find a new one. We are human. We were human 2,000 years ago. And yes, of course, it's very important to tell the old things in a new way. They are happening now in contemporary worlds. But I have the sensation that something is changing. The two main daily newspapers in Italy draw a list of the 10 best books of the year. And I was surprised because this is something completely new for Italy. 4 or 5 of them were narrative non-fiction. An Italian writer writing about Pasolini, Carrère writing about Limonov, or the autobiographies of some persons. Agassi, autobiography, maybe you read it. It was a good book. And well, this is my sensation. Poetry, my friend. I will read your poetry. I will read your poetry, but nobody can really make up a living or I mean cost of publication of poetry, because unfortunately people do not read so much poetry.
That has to be true. Nobody can make money out of it. And no, given that Lisa